Hello, hockey fans. I thought I would start this message on the morning of Sunday, 20th of March, 6:50 North American Eastern Time. Just want to mention, for starters, that this day is the International Day of La Francophonie, a major organization that contains mostly those countries and territories that use French as a language of business, including but by no means limited to France, Canada, Tunisia, Switzerland, and the Democratic Republic of Congo, the last country once known as Zaire. But I'm not going to talk so much about that. Talk about hockey because I like hockey very much. I follow all the teams that in 2021 were in the North Division, also known as the All Canadian Division. So let's just look at some games that have occurred from last week, Friday. So start off with the Jets. And up, well, surprisingly, after having fallen 2-0, coming back with a bang to tie things up 2 before falling 4-2 to the Boston Bruins. Yeah, there's no doubt that the Jets season, which was supposed to have been one that would at least see them get into the playoffs again, end up probably not coming anywhere near it. So, second intermission of that game, TSN hockey analyst Mike Johnson claimed to his colleague Sarah Oleski, the latter an NHL Jets analyst, that the Jets were going to have to get a minimum of 30 points in their remaining 21 games, including the Bruins one, to have a chance of at least getting into the postseason. Well, the Jets can at most lose 6 games in regulation before it's game over. But again, given the inconsistency of the Winnipeg Jets, I'm not going to bet too much on the Jets making the postseason. Even the last postseason wasn't great. Okay, the Jets swept the Oilers, but they were swept by the Habs. The Jets end up winning one more game than my hometown Leafs did in the 2021 Stanley Cup playoffs. Leafs ended up losing to the Habs in 7 games. The Jets ended up bowing out of their playoff run in 8. So one more game, so having a sweep and being swept. Both experiences rather uncommon for the Leafs over the years. It was 1981 the last time Leafs were swept in a playoff series. And 1979 it was in a best of 7. So I'll get to Leafs in a moment, but I thought first I'd go to all right. So we go to the Edmonton Oilers on Saturday. They end up definitely going on with a bang against New Jersey Devils. It was 6-3. Very much kept their hopes in the Pacific Division of finishing the top 3 very much alive. It's a surprise because there's been so much turmoil in oil country. This season started off with Dave Tippett as a longtime head coach. I thought, Tippett will never be fired. But then the Oilers got in a rut, and Sportsnet hockey analyst Elliot Friedman claimed on the day of the firing of Tippett that, the Oilers had come to a point where it had been, it was a playoff, that missing the playoffs was not for Ken Holland going to be an option. With the GM, with the Oilers GM's job very much on the line. Well, will another first round exit do for the Oilers? Well, who knows? So I'm going to go to the Leafs and Predators. Well, my hometown Leafs, didn't do very well. And it was a very slow start. Who knew if the Leafs were going to even score a goal at one point in the game? So I'm just going to go through a synopsis here. All right, so the yeah. So they got at one point, close to the, it was 3-2 at one point, then it was 4-2, and then 5-2, and then it was 5-3, 6-3. Matthews and Marner, contributed on points. There may have been other contributions as well, but the bottom line is the Leafs defense just sucked against the Predators, unlike against the Hurricanes or Dallas Stars. Yeah, I admit, I looked at, the impressive performances of Eric Shalgren, a recent call-up from the Toronto Marlies. Excuse me. Achoo! 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 Sorry about that. Dust in the air. Yeah. Shalgren called up for the Marlies 2 weeks ago on Thursday. He used stop 10 of 11 shots that he faced in an overtime loss to the Coyotes. So he was tagged with a loss, but it was an overtime one. Next start, he shut out. He helped with a Leaf shutout of the Dallas Stars. And Thursday, allowed 2 goals in a Leaf regulation win over the Hurricanes. And then allowed a couple of ugly goals for, the Predators first and third against, TSN Scout Director Craig Button earlier this Sunday morning on SportsCenter claimed that Shalgren had allowed those 2 ugly goals. Well, perhaps Shalgren should have stopped those shots. The problem with the Leafs defense, goalies are supposed to be the last line of defense, but Leafs giving up too many quality chances once more, and they give up at least 4 goals, and that's when Leafs have to get into trouble. They got to do better, and if they don't, what do I think? The odds are that Shalgren's going to get into a Leaf playoff game. Hard to know at this point, but I'd say that sure beats putting in Mrazek or Campbell. We'll have to see what Jack Campbell does, and if he returns, and who knows if he will. But Andre Kasha probably gone for the rest of the season because of a head injury. And head injury. When I think of head injury, I'm thinking no good. It's not going to work. And the cap room was so limited that dudes will have only a tiny, not even $2 million US worth of that such room to make a deal. Yeah, who knows? It's not going to work. It's kind of sucks. It's a letdown, but again, players get hurt. It's reality here. It's unfortunate that that Kasha got the equivalent treatment of having been in the ring, in a boxing ring, with Mike Tyson for multiple rounds. But it happens. That's the reality of playing hockey. It's that the risk of injury is high. But at least he's getting paid. There's a real danger out there. So I'm not going to wrap up for the Canucks, and I know that Canuck Clay on this Sunday morning North American Eastern Time has yet to post a video of that loss. It was a 5-2 to the Calgary Flames. But again, when it comes to the Canucks, there's no doubt that like the Jets, things don't look too good. With Canuck Clay, also don't know whose real name is Clay Imu. Sorry if I mispronounced his last name. Claimed that the Canucks were going to have to win that upcoming game against the Flames. Well, and that he also claimed that he would try to stream that game from the wedding of a dear son of his. So I congratulate that son for getting married, on his marriage, and indeed, among Jews, the common way of saying congratulations is mazel tov. I know that the Emu family is not Jewish. I can't think of anyone member who is, but again, it's the same thing. Congratulations, and that's really important to know. But again, back to the game of the Canucks. So, it was a disaster. And that's putting it lightly. This was a must-win. Yes, I know the Flames are doing very, very good, and there's probably no question whatever that the Flames are going to get in. The Oilers are vulnerable, but at least they're in the top three in the Pacific, so that helps. The Canucks aren't even in. So I had someone tweet me and claim that the Canucks, that the Leafs had been a relatively secure playoff position. There's no doubt about that. The question is whether the Leafs will end up winning a playoff round. Another question will be whether the Leafs end up finishing third in the Atlantic or fourth. But this is different than 2017 because the Leafs barely got into the postseason. But again, the question is, can the Leafs beat anyone in at least one round? That's not clear. And they're also debating about whether Kyle Dubas, the GM of the Leafs, should make a deal at the trade deadline. Well, the question is, what's out there? And what's the price? It's hard to know at this point. But yeah, Canucks coming off a 1-0 shutout loss, regulation, to the Detroit Red Wings. And on this Sunday, the Canucks are scheduled to face the Buffalo Sabres at home. That'll be an evening game. It'll be puck drop is expected to be a bit after 10 p.m. 10 10 this evening North American Eastern Time, 7 o'clock local. So it's out on the West Coast. So the Jets will be in Chicago to host the Blackhawks. To play the Blackhawks at the United Center on Sunday earlier in the evening. But again, a rather important game. But at this point, there's also rumors about Andrew Kopp and whether he'll be moved. Kopp is a forward for the Jets, 4th round pick during his draft year. Who knows what'll happen? But again, it looks like Peg City Hockey, also known as Jake, claimed in a YouTube video about Kopp rumors that time to sell, time for Kevin Cheveldayoff, GM of the Jets, to sell. I mean, I'm not saying that the Jets are out, but their chances don't look too good. And also, when it comes to the Canucks, well, their chances don't look too good either, making the postseason. Yeah, it's a wonderful run. It was a good run whilst it lasted. Bruce Boudreau has brought the Canucks to a better point than I thought they'd be. The way they started, the things were not looking too good. They were in last place in the Pacific Division. The Canucks have moved up since then, but by no means are they in a playoff spot. And hopefully, Maple Leaf Sports Entertainment board members understand the risk of keeping Dubas and President Shanahan on for much longer than a couple of days beyond a first round exit of the Leafs, should the Leafs end up losing in the first round of the 2022 Stanley Cup playoffs. MLSE board members should understand. They have a template of what could go wrong. We look what happened with the Canucks earlier this season. By November, the Canucks had earned 18 points via 8 wins, an overtime loss, and a shootout loss. So that means 18 out of a possible 50 points. An average point per game of 0.72. Yeah, the Canucks are in a better position now. But they made changes, early last December. Do the Leafs want to go there? Every MLSC board member must understand this. There's a real risk to keep Dubas and Shanahan on if the Leafs don't win a playoff round. And hopefully they'll understand what's really at stake. Fans are sick and tired of seeing the Leafs lose in the first round. Enough's enough. I'm tired of that too. I don't go to many games anymore. I haven't been to one since the pandemic. But hopefully, again, I'm not saying that Dubas should be fired now. I'm just saying, let's see how things play out. And if the Leafs win, 1 or 2 rounds, there's a more compelling case for Dubas and Shanahan to keep the jobs for at least another season. But anything short of a playoff series win, and Dubas and Shanahan should not be the only executives, roster players, or coaches to be shown the door. Should Sheldon Keefe be fired if the Leafs end up not winning the playoff round? Who knows? But maybe other members of the coaching staff should be. It's going to be very interesting times in the hockey world. It's going to be interesting to find out what happens. Anyway, go Leafs go.